Hi, this is Miss Cindy from the Crown Point Community Library, and today I'm going to be bringing the library into your home with a STEAM activity. I hope you've signed up for summer reading. I hope you're finding lots of good books to read, and I hope you've been stopping by the library to pick up our activity bags to go. Our theme for summer reading this year is Imagine Your Story, and this week we're going to be talking about myths. So I would like to share with you a myth. It's called Theseus and the Minotaur, and then our challenge is going to be a maze challenge, and I'll share that with you after the story. So sit back and enjoy. Theseus and the Minotaur. The Muses sang of Hercules and his labor, and they also sang of the island of Crete, ruled by King Minos, the son of Zeus and Europa. His queen, Pasiphae, a daughter of the sun god Helios, had a golden glimmer in her eyes, like all the descendants of the sun, and was accustomed to great magnificence. King Minos wanted his queen to live in a palace as splendid as her father's, and he ordered Daedalus, an Athenian architect and inventor of marvelous skill, to build the great palace of Sonos. The palace rose up story upon story over a forest of columns, winding stairs, and intricate passageways that connected the many halls and the courtyards. Pictures were painted on the walls of the great halls, fountains splashed in the courtyards, and the bathrooms even had running water. Bull's horns of the purest gold crowned the roofs, for the Cretans worshipped the bull, since Zeus, in the shape of a bull, had brought Europa to the island. Here the king and the queen and all their court lived in great splendor and happiness, until one day Poseidon sent a snow-white bull from the sea. Since the island of Crete was completely surrounded by his domain, the sea, he too wanted to be honored, and he ordered King Minos to sacrifice the bull to him. But Queen Pasiphae was so taken by the beauty of the white bull that she persuaded the king to let it live. She admired the bull so much that she ordered Daedalus to construct a hollow wooden cow so that she could hide inside it and enjoy the beauty of the bull at a close range. Poseidon was very angry, and for punishment he made the bull mad. It ravaged the whole island, and though the Cretans were great bullfighters, no one could subdue the beast until Hercules had come to capture it as one of his labors. To punish the king and queen, Poseidon caused Pasiphae to give birth to a monster, the Minotaur. He was half man and half bull, and ate nothing but human flesh. Such a fearful monster could not go free, and the clever Daedalus constructed for him a labyrinth under the palace. It was a maze of passageways and little rooms from which nobody could ever hope to find his way out. There the Minotaur was shut in, and as long as he was provided with victims to devour, he kept quiet. But when he was hungry, he bellowed so loudly that the whole palace shook. King Minos had to wage war with the neighboring islands so he could supply the Minotaur with prisoners of war for food. One king, the king of Aegeus, had to save his city because the King Minos was constantly attacking. 2 times 9 years had passed, and the king was growing old, and for the 3rd time a ship with black sails of mourning was due to depart, heading to Sonos for the sacrifice. The word came to the king that a young hero, Theseus, was making his way to Athens, destroying all the monsters and highwaymen he met on the road. Theseus, the young hero, arrived in Athens and went straight to the king's palace. Tall and handsome he stood before Aegeus. With his sandals and sword, the king was overjoyed. At last he had a son who was a hero as well. The king happily proclaimed Theseus the rightful heir to the throne of Athens, and he became the hero of all of Athens when he offered to take the place of one of the victims who was to be sent to Crete. Old King Aegeus begged his son not to go, but Theseus would not change his mind. "I shall make an end of the Minotaur, and we shall return safely," he said. "We sail with black sails, but we return with white sails as a signal of my success." The ship sailed to Crete, and the 14 young Athenians were locked in a dungeon to await their doom. But King Minos had a lovely daughter, Ariadne, a fair maiden as eyes could see. She could not bear the thought that handsome Theseus would be sacrificed to the ugly Minotaur. So she went to Daedalus and she begged for help to save him. He gave Ariadne a magic ball of thread and told her that at midnight, when the Minotaur was fast asleep, she must take Theseus to the labyrinth. The magic ball of thread would roll ahead of him through the maze and lead him to the monster. Then it was up to Theseus to overpower the beast. In the dark of night, Ariadne went to Theseus's prison and whispered that if he would promise to marry her and take her away with him, she would help him. Gladly, Theseus gave his word, and Ariadne led him to the gate of the labyrinth. He tied the end of the thread to the gate so he would find his way back, and then she gave him the ball. As soon as Theseus put the ball of thread on the ground, it rolled ahead of him through the dark corridors, upstairs and downstairs, and winding around passageways. Holding on to the unwinding thread, Theseus followed it wherever it led him, and before long he heard the thunderous snores of the Minotaur, and there, surrounded by skulls and bleached bones, lay the monster, fast asleep. Theseus sprang at the Minotaur. It roared so loudly that the whole palace shook, but the monster was taken by surprise, and so strong was Theseus that with his bare hands he killed the cruel Minotaur. Theseus quickly followed the thread back to Ariadne, who stood watch at the gate. Together they freed the other Athenians and ran to their ship in the harbor. Before they sailed, they bored holes in all of King Minos' ships so he could not pursue them. Ariadne urged them to hurry. Theseus' heart was filled with joy. Not only had he saved the Athenians from the Minotaur, but he was also bringing home a beautiful bride. But in the middle of the night, the god Dionysus appeared to him and spoke, "I forbid you to marry Ariadne. I myself have chosen her for my bride. You must set her ashore on the island of Naxos." Theseus could not oppose an Olympian god. When they came to Naxos, he ordered everyone to go ashore and rest. There, Ariadne fell into a heavy slumber, and while she slept, Theseus led the others back to the ship and sailed off without her. There's a picture of her sleeping on the shore. So this is just one of the stories in this book of Greek myths. There's a whole bunch of other stories. So you can check this out if you want to read that story again, or if you would like to read other stories. Okay, our activity for this week is the Maze Challenge. So when you come to the library to pick up your activity to go kit, you will receive, instead of a brown paper bag this week, you're going to receive a paper plate. Stapled to it will be your challenge with the information on the back. You will receive a paper that has the extra challenges, other things that you can do, the science, technology, engineering, art, and math activities, so extra things that you can do. And you will receive a copy of the story, The Theseus and the Minotaur. It's a little bit different from this book because it is just a different retelling. The myths and this type of story, they're all retellings, so they all may be a little bit different. And then you're going to receive your plate and your bag. Inside your bag, you will find 4 straws and a marble. I'm going to keep my marble in the bag till I'm ready for it so it doesn't roll away. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a maze, and you can put the Minotaur. So in this little booklet, there is a picture of the Minotaur on there, and you can cut him out and put him in your maze. So you can just cut him out. And I'm going to leave a little bit at the bottom. I left a little bit so that I can fold this under, and I'm going to tape him to my plate right in the center so that he can stand up. So you will need some tape. If you have extra straws at home and you want to add extra straws to your maze, you can. So I just taped him right on the plate, so there he is. And this is going to be the maze. This is going to be the labyrinth that Daedalus would have constructed to keep him in the center. Remember, what would happen is they would send these people in there, they'd get lost, and the Minotaur would find them and then eat them. So I'm going to cut my straw into pieces. You can decide how big or how long or how many pieces you want to cut them into. And I'm just going to show you a couple. You can obviously add a whole lot more. And so I just did 3 pieces, but you can decide. And then you want to tape them down. You're going to decide what kind of pattern you're going to put them in and what your maze is going to look like. So I would just tape some down to create a maze. And what you're going to be trying to do is you want to leave the place where the Minotaur is separate to create a maze so that the marble, make sure that your marble is going to be able to roll through. So I can just check it to make sure that I don't put this too close because I want my marble to be able to get through there. Tape that down. And then maybe on this side, I want it to not hit the Minotaur right yet. I'm going to have it go this way. And then maybe come back around. And then what you're going to do is you would put all of your straws on there, or as many as you would like. And then you're going to put your marble down, and you are going to just move your marble around, and then take it all the way around until you get it. Either you can have a couple of choices. You could have it try to knock over the Minotaur, or you could try to get it to the other side. You could even put a hole in the other side. You could cut a hole right in here so that when the marble gets to this one point, it drops out, and that means that he was safe. But if you end up, I don't know if you noticed how my marble came right over here by the Minotaur, then maybe that means that the Minotaur got him and you're out, so you have to start all over. So you can decide how you want to design your challenge. You could even put something over on the one side, wherever the start is, that to kind of launch your marble down into it, to kind of a place where you could send it down into there. You can design how you're going to put your straws in and what kind of path you're going to have, where you put the Minotaur, and like I said, where the end is. You could even put a hole in there so that the marble can drop out once you get to the end, and that could mean that you win. So you can decide how you want your game to be. You can create it. My challenge to you is to try it out and then give it to a family member and see if they can complete the maze, get the marble through the maze. I thank you for joining me today. I hope that you stop by the library and that you pick up some good books, some myths, good things to read, find some good stories. And you can also check out our library website for more resources. And you can go to our YouTube channel and find other videos. If you haven't watched the other challenges for the past couple weeks, you're welcome to go and check those out. And you can stop by the library and see if we have any supplies left over from those. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.